Dear students of Srikali Secondary School, Amtali, Borguna, I hope you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am fine. Today I welcome you to follow my online English class. Last day I was talking about sentences. How can we complete sentence? Today I shall take part in another new topics, that is interchange from simple to complex and compound. Students, please write down the topic's name. Interchange from simple to complex and compound. I shall explain it at the same time by using a box, or take your exercise book and you will try to write. Okay, what I shall write on the board in this way. First, simple, complex, compound. There are many rules from simple to complex and compound. I shall discuss it one by one. Today, number 1. Going to market. I-B-O-U-G-H-T. I bought a shirt. Dear learners, I have written going to market, I bought a shirt. This is simple sentence. Here you can notice that only one subject and one finite verb. So the sentence is simple. If we want to change complex from simple, first you have to use as or since or when. You can use 3 words to write the complex sentence: as, since, when. Then subject when. When, that means your second sentence verb past. So you have to write go, from, go, when. Your verb must be past tense. Rest part of the sentence comma, as, since, when. as I went to market, since I went to market, or when I went to market. Next sentence, I bought, B-O-U-G-H-T, I bought a shirt. Students, you should notice that this is the complex sentence. Here two subjects here and two finite verb. This sentence has already started as since when, because our first sentence verb plus ing, first sentence simple has started with verb plus ing. So you can use as since when. When you will change compound, you have to avoid as since when. That means তোমাদেরকে as since when বাদ দিতে হবে, as since when লেখা যাবে না। So I went to market and B-O-U-G-H-T and bought a shirt. Dear learners, I have written I went to market and bought a shirt. Here you need two subjects, but your first sentence and second sentence, they are same subject, so you need not write I in the second sentence. যদি কম্পাউন্ড সেন্টেন্সে সাবজেক্ট একই হয় সেই ক্ষেত্রে অ্যান্ডের পরে দ্বিতীয় সাবজেক্ট লেখার প্রয়োজন নেই, সেজন্যই কিন্তু আমি এখানে অ্যান্ডের পরে আই লিখি নাই। ওকে, dear students, look at 2, rule 2, or you can say note 2, by going to market. By going to market, you can buy a shirt. I have brought a little change here, by plus verb plus ing, that means by plus gerund. So I have used if on subject and on verb. This is simple sentence. We can change complex in this way. If you go to market, comma, you can buy a shirt. Dear students, look at the complex sentence. If you go to market, you can buy a shirt. Why have I written in this way? Because your first sentence by plus gerund, that means it is affirmative conditional. Affirmative conditional by plus gerund. That means complex, if you go to market, you can buy a shirt. Here, this is also a conditional sentence. After that, you will get a result, you can buy a shirt. If you go to market, you can buy a shirt. If you go to school, you can learn English. If you write more, you can develop your handwriting. In this way, this sentence will be a conditional sentence. This sentence will be conditional sentences because buy plus gerund. Your first sentence simple, buy plus gerund. Next, look at compound. This sentence will be started verb base form. Go to market. Go to market and you can buy a shirt. Dear learners, here notice that this sentence will be started verb base form. Next part of the sentence, in the middle of the sentence, and next sentence. In this way, you can learn simple to complex and compound. Okay, dear learners, I shall try to write rule 3. You will write down the sentences in your exercise book. If you write in this way, I hope that you can remember the same thing very easily. Okay, dear students, rule 3. Without going. Every time I try to use same sentence, without going to market. You cannot buy a shirt. The sentence is negative and it has started without verb plus ing. Without going to market, you cannot buy a shirt. If you want to complex, first if you do not অথবা unless you দুইটার যে কোনো একটা তোমরা কমপ্লেক্সে ব্যবহার করতে পারবে, if you do not অথবা unless you next verb present, unless you go to market comma, unless you go to market you cannot buy a shirt. Dear learners, you have to remember that without plus gerund, this is simple sentence. When you will change complex, if you do not go to market, you cannot buy a shirt. Unless you go to market, you cannot buy a shirt. Your complex sentence must be negative. Simple sentence must be negative because the sentence has started without gerund. Second sentence must be negative. You have to remember that second sentence must be negative. But by plus gerund, your second sentence must be affirmative because by plus gerund, this is affirmative conditional. Without plus gerund, this is negative conditional. Okay. Look at compound. So 3. Go to market. Or you cannot or you cannot buy, B-U-Y, buy a shirt. In the sentence will be started, base form, next part of the sentence, in the middle of the sentence, what? You can write otherwise. Otherwise you cannot buy a shirt. Okay, dear learners, today we learned three rules: interchange from simple, complex and compound at the same time. Another day I shall try to discuss it elaborately from rule 4. Allah Hafiz.